We are live, we are live, we are live. This is the day that the Lord has made, and not only are we live, but we are rejoicing and we are glad in it. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. Today is Friday, all day Friday. Today is Friday, April the 14th. 2023. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. I want to welcome you to the Ramonepreston Show. Do me a quick favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, and tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know your boy Ramonepreston, my squad. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta, and you are watching the Ramonepreston Show. If you don't know, now you know. I'm your host, Ramonepreston. Every Monday through Friday, I show up here live to give you the game, to share information with you that I know you can use to properly start, structure, and at some point scale any business, any ministry, any income stream, any wealth building dream. So it don't matter if you're a W-2 employee. You could be in the middle of a transition out of one career to another. You could be in between jobs. You could be a stay-at-home parent. You could be on a fixed income. You could be a network marketer, a preacher. You could be a legitimate business owner. It really doesn't matter where you are on that economic spectrum. Everything that I share with you on this show is designed to help you take your finances, your business, your dreams to the next level. And so I want to say thank you for joining the show. I also want to give a big shout out to all of you who have taken me up on the offer that I've been extending to you for the second week now. This offer is for you to join me next Saturday, April the 22nd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for my one and only holding company workshop for 2023. I'm only hosting one holding company workshop this year, and it is next Saturday, April the 22nd, right here in our headquarters. But we're also hosting a virtual event as well. So you can join me in person or virtual, but it's going to be all things holding companies. And we're hosting it live next Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I extended the offer. We still have the offer open today. Hopefully we'll have it next week. But right now the offer still stands. For $97, I'm giving you a VIP ticket to my upcoming holding company workshop. You can attend in person or virtual. And with that $97 offer, I'm also giving you access to my entire holding company course plus the startup kit. So if you want access to the course, the startup kit, and a VIP ticket to my upcoming event, I'm extending that offer for $97. All you have to do is text the word VIP to 678-276-8253. I'll give you more information on that offer at the end of today's show. But what I wanted to do today, since we're getting such a great response from our community, I wanted to designate some time today on the show to really explain to you what are you going to learn when you attend this live holding company workshop. So for all of you that have been texting VIP, you've been watching the show for the last week or so, you've been hearing me present this offer for $97. I know a lot of people have questions like, what am I going to get for $97? And if I pay the $97 and get access to your course, your startup kit, and a VIP ticket to your event, what exactly am I going to learn? What am I going to learn? Well, I'm going to talk to you today about what you're going to learn, because you're going to definitely learn a whole lot. If you don't know about holding companies, or if you know little about holding companies, you're going to learn a lot, not just about how to start them and structure them, but you're going to learn how to use them in such a creative way that you can really make a lot of money, build a lot of enterprise value, and create financial freedom just through this business concept called the holding company. So we're going to go through a few things that you're going to learn during the workshop. If for some reason you have a question while you're watching, don't hesitate to put the question in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer any question that you have. As a matter of fact, just in my holding company course alone, I probably have about 50 or 60 questions that I answer, if not more. I know those of you that are on IG, you can't really see the screen the way everyone else can see that's streaming, but I just want to show you. I want to give you a quick preview of what my holding company course looks like, because this is the course that I'm giving you access to for 1 year. You have access to it for 1 year, and that means you can go on there, you can study, you can train, you can educate yourself, you can deep dive, you can binge watch for a whole year. But the good thing about it is, not only am I giving you the course for a year, but I'm giving you the VIP ticket to join me next Saturday. So if you start on the course today, or if you've already started, because we got people that have already signed up and they started watching the videos and going through the course, well, it makes it easier for you to understand what I'm gonna talk about next week. And if you have any questions, I can answer those questions. And so this one course called the Holding Company course, it is how to start and structure a holding company. This is just one of about 30 or more courses that I have inside of my Millionaire Blueprint. So our main signature program is called the Millionaire Blueprint, just in case you don't know and you're just starting to watch me. Our main online educational course program is called the Millionaire Blueprint. And I put this Millionaire Blueprint together to literally show you a blueprint on how to become a millionaire. Like, what are the things that you would need to do in order to literally become a legitimate millionaire? And so all of the courses that I have inside of this Millionaire Blueprint are courses to teach you financial literacy, teach you the fundamentals of accounting and balance sheets and net worth. I have a course in there on creative cash flow strategies, so that if you're a W-2 employee, how do you leverage your job to minimize your taxes and maximize your deductions? I have courses in there on entrepreneurship, on investing. Like, this program has a lot of courses, but one of the main courses that I have inside of my Millionaire Blueprint is called How to Start and Structure a Holding Company. This is the course that I am giving you 1 year access to with my holding company workshop offer. So for $97, you're getting a VIP ticket to a 1-day event to join me, but I'm also giving you access to this course so that you can learn all the ins and outs of holding companies, how to start them, how to structure them. I have documents and forms inside. And so even if you just went to my university platform to preview this course, you will see all the information that I have just on a holding company. I told you I have about 50, 60, or 70 questions that I answer just inside this course. Here are the modules. The modules are entitled Things to Know About Holding Companies, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, Part 6. So there are currently 6 parts. If you open it up, you see all the questions that I'm answering. Can I transfer my existing LLC to a holding company? Who's the responsible party for signing documents for subsidiaries? Do I need insurance for my holding company? Can a holding company own a nonprofit? And the list goes on and on and on. So again, when you sign up for this $97 offer, you get access for 1 year to my holding company course. Inside of that course is a startup kit. So that means there's a kit to show you exactly how to start right here, a do-it-yourself startup kit. We have walkthrough video tutorials to show you how to fill out your SS4 form for your EIN number, particularly for your holding company or for your subsidiaries. We show you how to draft your operating agreement. We have operating agreements inside of this kit for a single member LLC, for multi-member LLCs. We have information for your DUNS number, for your corporation kit. And we literally show you how to do it yourself if you are a do-it-yourselfer. If you're not a do-it-yourselfer, meaning that you don't want to start your own holding company, you don't want to file and form your own paperwork, you want to pay somebody else to do it, well, guess what? It's easy for you to at least know what you're paying somebody to do, because we give you the information and we show you exactly what needs to be done when you are getting your holding company set up and when you're setting up your subsidiaries. A lot of people, they have LLCs today. I mean, a lot of people have LLCs today, but a lot of people don't have holding companies, number one. And if they don't understand the concept of a holding company, meaning that they don't know how to structure their business operations, what will happen is every time they get a good idea, what's going to happen? They're going to start another entity and they're going to be the owners of that entity. Well, when you learn the holding company concept, the first thing you understand is you should own one company. Your one company should own all those other companies. And at some point, that one company may be owned by a trust and you own that trust. But nobody even really makes it to the trust level because they don't even understand the business structure level. So we want to help you understand these concepts to make what you do as an entrepreneur more effective and to make what you do as an entrepreneur more efficient. So back to my question for today's show. What will you learn when you attend my one-day holding company workshop? What exactly are you going to learn? Well, one of the first things that we're going to do during this one-day workshop is we're going to take some time to explain to you what a holding company is, how the holding company concept works. We're going to share with you information on what divisions are, how you set divisions up, how do you classify certain business activity as a division under your holding company. We're going to explain to you what subsidiaries are and how you structure your subsidiaries under your holding company. So just the first part of that workshop alone is going to give you the meat on what a holding company is, how it works, what a division is, how it works, what a subsidiary is, and how it works. And then our next session, this is like during the live workshop. The next session that we're going to go into is to show you how to actually structure your holding company enterprise. Because now that you're building your enterprise out, you want to make sure that it's being structured the right way. So we're going to show you how to obtain your EIN number for your holding company, how to obtain an EIN number for your operating company. We're going to show you how to obtain your articles of organization for your holding company and articles of organization for your operating company, and to make sure that the language you use when you are obtaining your EIN and your articles, that the language is correct. So you could go get an EIN number. It don't mean you're going to categorize that entity as a holding company. It don't mean you have the language correct. You could go get articles of organization from the Secretary of State. Just fill out the paperwork and pay the $100 or whatever the fee is. But it don't mean you have the language built inside of that, because some Secretary of State portals, they don't even allow you to categorize your LLC as a holding company. So you need to know what to do to make sure that your language is correct. We are going to show you how to draft your operating agreement. Not only am I giving you sample operating agreements that you can fill out and download and have in your file, but we're going to show you how to actually draft it to make sure that who needs to be the owner of the holding company, who needs to be the owner of the operating company, and who needs to be the manager. Is it a member managed LLC, or is someone else managing the LLC? So we go through all of the details on the structuring of your holding company enterprise. Just that alone is worth the $97. Trust me on this. I have people that have paid me to structure their companies because we have a division that files and forms the paperwork. So I have people that have paid me thousands of dollars to set up multiple LLCs this way. and they have already paid other people thousands of dollars that have done it wrong, and they didn't even know just that. So to get access to this information is game changing, because most people are not even talking to you about holding companies. And the few people who may talk to you about holding companies, they're definitely not going to give you as much information as I have. And one of the reasons why is because they might not be interested in these types of infrastructures as much as I am. I've been so fascinated and interested in these infrastructures because I realized early on, when my wife and I started our entrepreneurial journey 2 decades ago as a 2-person real estate team, I realized early on that a lot of the major real estate companies that we came into contact with, I'm talking about like REITs, real estate investment trusts, and these big conglomerates that would come into Metro Atlanta and purchase hundreds of apartment complexes, and they would purchase high rises and communities, and they would repurpose them and restructure them. What I realized as I observed these things happening with these multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar companies is that they were structured as holding companies. And the names of the companies that were actually on the ground doing the business were really not the main companies. And once I started digging and doing my research, I realized that these were just subsidiary companies coming into metro areas like Atlanta, buying up a whole lot of residential homes or a lot of real estate in commercial or multifamily, but they were all being ran by parent companies that were funding them and that were really expanding their operations through these subsidiaries. So almost everything that I learned initially over 20 years ago about holding companies and subsidiaries, almost all of it initially came from me being in the real estate arena and learning that these big corporations were using this concept to maximize their profits, minimize their taxes, to reallocate pre-tax dollars into other business activities, and they were crushing it. And I realized that, wow, in order for me to really win, even as a solopreneur, as a small business owner, I need to learn these sophisticated concepts. So again, one of the first things that you're going to learn next Saturday during my live holding company workshop, whether you're in person or virtual, one of the first things that you're going to learn in the first 2 sessions is what a holding company is, how it works, what divisions are, how do you identify what divisions, what subsidiaries are, how do you structure them, how do you file and form your paperwork, how do you draft your operating agreements. All of this you're going to learn just within the first 1 or 2 sessions in my holding company workshop. Then we're going to take some time and we're going to teach you about managing a holding company. So I want to show you how to manage your holding company. Managing a holding company is a whole nother set of principles and concepts. So for example, let's say you have your LLC set up as a holding company. And let's say you have 1 or 2 other LLCs under that LLC, which are subsidiaries. Let's say you have the structure set up. You got your EIN numbers, you got your articles of organization, you have your operating agreements. Let's just say hypothetically you got that part taken care of, right? Okay, so here you are, you at the top of the mountain, you got your holding company set up, you might have a couple divisions that you set up, and let's just say you have 2 or 3 LLCs under it. And structurally, you have that situated. All right. Now, the next problem you're going to have is, what am I going to do with this structure to actually make money? How is it going to benefit me? What are the benefits and the advantages of having this type of structure as opposed to you just having one LLC and doing everything that you want to do through that one LLC? So managing your holding company is going to be very, very important. And I'm going to show you during this workshop how I use the top 5 corporate systems, which are tied to the top 5 corporate roles. And I use these systems and roles to integrate into my holding company to make my day-to-day operations more effective and more efficient. And here's the good thing about it. I'm not sitting on some high horse teaching you these principles. I'm showing you this and teaching you this from the perspective of somebody who started out with just me and my wife. And for the first few phases of me building this out, my wife was dependent upon me to put these systems and processes together. She wouldn't have known what to do unless I showed her what to do. So I had to figure out, how do I take this very complex and complicated concept like owning a holding company, having operational divisions within my holding company, having subsidiaries that are owned by my holding company. How do I take this concept and make it make sense? Well, you're going to make it make sense and manage it effectively and efficiently through systems and processes. So I'm going to be sharing with you the main systems you're going to need in order for this type of concept to work. So this session is going to be a big deal because I know people who have just one LLC like this, and they don't even have systems and processes. They don't even know how to manage the day-to-day operations of one business. So imagine if you have one business that owns multiple businesses, you have to know how to work systems and processes. So I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 systems that are tied to executive roles. Even if you don't have executives in your company, okay, you still want to know what those roles would be when someone assumes them, because those roles need to be tied to certain systems, okay? So we're going to talk about those 5 systems, and I'm going to show you, even through diagrams and through some interactive sessions, how to just take a simple holding company, LLC, how to take just the ideas that you have as a solopreneur. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, and how to take them and utilize them within your organization with this type of structure so that you can start monetizing your ideas, so that you can start making money from your ideas. All right. So this is going to be a big part of managing the day-to-day operations of a holding company. And I'm going to show you the systems and the processes that you're going to need in order to do it. And again, you don't need a whole lot of people to do this initially. But what you do need is an understanding of it. Because again, when I first started building my infrastructure out, when I set my holding company up, when I set a couple subsidiaries and divisions up, I didn't have a staff. I didn't have people on salary. I didn't have executives. It was me and my wife. And my wife was like, hey, bro, you got to figure this out. I'm not going to just be around here running around like a chicken with his neck cut off because you don't know what you're doing. You have to put some structure together. In other words, you got to have some systems and some processes in place so I know exactly what you need me to do and what the results are going to be when I do it. This is where your systems and your processes are going to play a very important role. And trust me, if you just focus on that part, just what I've covered so far, if you just focused on that part, your life is going to be so much more easy. Because I know right now, even if you don't have a holding company set up and divisions or subsidiaries, if you just have one LLC, even if you ain't got one LLC, if all you got is you out there as an entrepreneur scrapping, trying to do something in business, if you don't have a system and a process or systems and processes, you probably feel like you all over the place. You probably feel like you don't know if you're coming or going. It is because you don't have systems and processes. So I'm going to show you like a very easy way for you to put a organizational structure, an organizational system together. Okay? It's professionals call it a general operating system. But when you are able to put like a general operating system together, it just makes everything that you do a little easier. So this is why I can have a holding company. I can have multiple divisions. I've got multiple divisions under my holding company, and I have subsidiaries. And by the way, this is all for profit. I have a whole nother nonprofit organization. I have a whole nonprofit 501c3 with a church, with outreaches, with community programs, with other ministries that are under that umbrella. But because I understand this concept, I can actually run two whole organizations effectively and efficiently because I have systems, processes, all right? I have a general operating system that I go by, and I want to show that to you. So what are some other things you're going to learn during the holding company workshop? I'm going to also share with you a concept that I created called the SMS matrix. I think this is one of the most creative concepts that so many people, even solopreneurs that own one business, don't know how to use. Because the SMS matrix is essentially an acronym for structure. It's an acronym for structure, marketing, and sales. So what I like to do is I created this concept, the SMS matrix. That's what I call it. It's the SMS matrix. And the reason why I came up with this is because once I set up my holding company, okay, once I set up the structure of my holding company, I needed to figure out how could I use my holding company to actually create brand awareness. Because I didn't want to have a holding company and then I had 2 or 3 other companies and then I was confused about how do I market what business? Like, what am I supposed to market? Because when you got 2 or 3 business ideas or 3 or 4 different products and services that you're offering, and they really reflect different business activities and business entities, a lot of times you don't know what to start marketing first, right? So let's say if you do real estate, like me and my wife, we do real estate sales and purchases. We do investing. We do real estate consulting. We have an online store. We do ministry. We have a church. We have an educational company. So think about it. We have all these different companies, all these different business activities. Well, if we don't have some type of infrastructure set up that makes sense, we wouldn't know where to start. Do we go out there and start marketing real estate? Do we start marketing education? Do we market consulting? Do we market our online store? Do we market our hoodies and our t-shirts? Do we market our church? Do we market my preaching ministry? Like speaking engagements? What are we going to market? Does that make sense? So when we're able to put a solid structure together and use this structure as a brand, as a base for a brand, now all we have to do is use this to market, right? And all of our products and services we can put inside of our ecosystem. So this would be like an example of our products and services. So it don't matter if we have 100 products and services or 20 products and services or 2. Now we can use this whole infrastructure as a sales funnel. So now, even though structurally or legally it is a holding company, but for the purpose of building a brand and for marketing, it is actually a company enterprise that highlights the most valuable products and services at the top of the funnel. So now, whatever my most valuable products and services are, I can make sure that they are at the top of my funnel, so that when I'm going to the marketplace, introducing my business and myself, I'm introducing the most valuable products and services that I have, so that when I do bring people back into my ecosystem, My whole organizational enterprise, my holding company, my divisions, my subsidiaries, they're all a part of this whole world, this ecosystem, and it makes it easy for me to communicate that. See, a lot of people go into the marketplace trying to market, but it's hard for them to have a clear message because, number one, you got all these multiple products and services. You don't know which one to market first. You don't know what your messaging needs to be. You don't know what your pitch needs to be. You don't know what your value proposition needs to be. All that gets confused and convoluted, and you end up doing nothing. Or you end up doing everything, but you still don't get results. And so using the holding company, particularly through this concept that I created called the SMS matrix, structure, marketing, and sales, it just streamlines everything that you're doing. So now I can stand at the top of the mountain of my holding company. I can build it or structure it in a way that it can be a consistent brand like Ramonepreston Enterprises, all right? And I'm showing you all this in this workshop. I'm going to show you how to do this. It can be consistent with a brand. Now I could go out there and promote Ramonepreston as a brand, Ramonepreston Enterprises as a company, even though structurally it's a holding company. I can create top tier products and services to put them at the top of my funnel. I can market myself as a top level expert. And when I start getting attention, I can sell anything under this umbrella once I bring people into the ecosystem. I'm telling you, if you just learn this concept alone, which I done talked about 3 or 4 other major concepts, you have no idea how much value I'm giving you just on this live show. And you definitely can't even put a dollar amount to how much you're going to learn in my workshop, along with getting access to my course. So this SMS matrix concept that I'm teaching, I have training modules in my course. Carnell says sometimes you have to keep getting it in order to get it, right? Like, this stuff is game changing. This is what put me where I am as far as success. Everything I'm sharing with y'all is what I use because I didn't have a handout. Nobody co-signed me. I had to scrap it out. I had to figure it out. And once I figured out a formula, a blueprint that worked for me, I knew I needed to give it to those of you that I come into contact with. All right? And so we'll teach you this during the workshop. You're going to learn that. What are some other things that you're going to learn during the workshop? This is a one-day deep dive. So I just covered 3 major things you're going to learn. You're going to learn all about what holding companies are, what the concept of a holding company is, how it works. You're going to learn about divisions, subsidiaries. I'm going to show you how to build all that out. You're going to learn about structuring your enterprise with the EIN, with the articles of organization, with your operating agreement, with your members and managers. We're going to cover all that. We're going to talk about this SMS matrix. This is going to be a major game changer for a lot of you, especially if you anticipate to get into the coaching space or the consulting space or the educational space, which is a huge space that's growing, and it should even double within the next 3 years. This concept will help you make that pivot into becoming a very successful coach, consultant, and potentially online educator. Okay, 2 other major topics that we're going to talk about during the holding company is, number 1, we're going to talk about creative tax strategies. So I want to show you some creative tax strategies that I've used and that I do use throughout my organizational enterprise, because this is one of the biggest advantages of having multiple entities under an entity. One of the biggest advantages that you're able to creatively minimize your taxes and maximize your deductions, because you might have net profits in one entity, but you might not have a whole lot of net profits in another entity. If that one entity that you have a lot of net profits in, if it was just primarily owned by you and it wasn't under an umbrella of another entity, then you would be responsible for the taxes of those net profits. But when that entity is under another entity, before the net profits pass through up to you, they have to pass up to a holding company that can actually participate. In most cases, it can participate in non-taxable events. And again, I'm going to share with you strategies that I've used, but keep in mind, these strategies that I've used are always vetted by my tax strategist. I have people on retainers that I pay to help me understand the best activities to participate in, most of which are non-taxable, or if they are taxable, they become expenses or deductions and write-offs by the time the net profits hit me, because they got to come through that company. They got to come through my holding company, then they come to me, and by the time they come to me, the net profits are so low, I'm either not taxed on it because I have other expenses or deductions or write-offs, or I have other liabilities that I can kick that tax can down the road a little further. So I'm going to talk about that. We're going to have a session just on that so that you can start familiarizing yourself with creative tax strategies. And then we're going to talk about asset management. I'm going to show you how to use your holding company as an asset management company. Because remember, once you start creating multiple entities, here's you, here's your holding company, here's another entity that you start creating under there. Once you start creating this type of infrastructure, you essentially become an asset manager. That's what you're doing. But you're not just the asset manager over the asset of the holding company or over the asset of the operating companies. I'm going to show you in this workshop about 30 different assets that you can use. But first you have to identify with these assets. I don't do a whole lot of one-on-one coaching anymore. I used to do a whole lot of one-on-one coaching. But I don't do a whole lot of one-on-one coaching. But when I do one-on-one coaching, even if I don't do one-on-one coaching, I could just get on the phone with an entrepreneur who owns a business, and I can talk to them for about 5 minutes. I can walk them through a quick 3-4 minute assessment, because I know this stuff in my head, right? I can walk them through an assessment, and I can probably identify with at least 10 assets that they have just in their entrepreneurial activities that they don't even identify as assets. And if they're not identifying with them as assets, most likely they're not monetizing them, because they don't know how to take those assets, integrate them into their ecosystem, because they probably don't have an ecosystem to integrate them into, and monetize them. And when you're able to do this, I'm going to show you how to think like an asset manager, structure your company like an asset management company, position yourself as an asset manager to start identifying and accumulating these assets. And when you do, I'm going to show you how you integrate them into your business and how you start associating dollar values with them so that you can increase your company net worth, increase your enterprise value. You're probably going to immediately increase your revenue value because you're going to start making more money. There are things that you have that are assets that if they were put properly in your business structure, they can make you money today. They can make you money today. I've seen it time and time and time again. And so these are things that I'm going to be sharing with you. These are things that you're going to be learning. I'm also going to have just a segment during the workshop where I answer some of the most common questions that people ask, like where do I set my holding company at? How do I transfer ownership of one to another? And how do I take assets and transfer them? How do I invest through my holding company? I'm going to answer like as many of the common questions as I possibly can, at least maybe 10 or 20, probably around 20 of the common questions. But then I'll answer any questions that you have. If you're joining me in person or virtual, I'm going to answer your questions, okay? So here's what I want you to do. This is an offer that we have been extending, and we have been promoting, and we have been presenting for 2 weeks now. This is the second week that we have extended this offer. Don't be surprised if you get next week on my show and I'm not offering this for $97. All right? Don't be surprised. And next week, you can't call me when it's $297 or back up to $994. That's the original price. You can't call me and say, no, let me get that $97, dog. I've given it to you for 2 weeks. Okay? And so here's the offer. So you won't say you missed the memo. Here's the offer. I have a VIP ticket to my upcoming holding company workshop. All right? I'm hosting it live, in person and virtual. You can attend how you want to, virtually or in person. It's a live holding company workshop. Everything I just shared with you, I'm going to be talking about that and more. You're going to have a workbook. You're going to get a private link to this event. It's not going to be a public event. It's exclusive to you and to all of my coaching clients, all of whom pay thousands of dollars to be in my coaching program. They will be on this call. They will be in person as well. So it will be April the 22nd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you go to my website right now, this course is currently $497 for this event. For you to join this event outside of this offer is $497. I'm also going to give you access to my holding company course and startup kit. You're going to get 1 year access to this entire course. So everything that I've shared with you and more is just inside the course that you'll have a year to just go on there, educate yourself. All the documents and forms that you need are inside of the course. This course right here is $497 on my platform. So outside of this offer, you would pay $994 for a ticket to my holding company workshop and for 1 year access to my holding company course. I'm giving it to you today for $97. 97 bucks. That's how much you're getting it for. $97. I promise you, just in the first half of the workshop next week, I promise you, just in the first, probably in the first 2 hours, you will get your $97 worth. Just in the first 2 hours. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I guarantee you'll be like, man, I got my $97 worth just in the first hour or two. As a matter of fact, because I'm giving you access to my course as well, if you signed up today and we onboard you today to this course, if you just took maybe an hour to go on this course and start watching some of the videos, most likely you will probably have to call us back today after watching maybe an hour of videos and say, man, I already got my $97 worth just on the online course. Just the documents and the forms and the startup kit alone showing you how to actually build this out yourself, you'll get your $97 worth. So you get 1 year access to my holding company course and startup kit, and you get a VIP ticket to join me next week from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in person or virtual. Hey, guess what? If you're working next week and for some reason you're not available to join me live, you can come back around, get the workbook, get the replay, and still have access to watch it and to the course for a whole year only for $97. So you just need to text VIP. This is the only way you can get this offer is by texting the word VIP to 678-276-8253. And again, I don't know if it's going to be available next week. I've been offering it for 2 weeks straight now. So you at least have the offer today. I don't know how I'm gonna feel Monday because the event is next Saturday. So we only have so many seats here in person. Carnell said it's worth more than every penny spent. Get it? I appreciate that, CB. So I hope I gave you some insight into what you're going to learn next week at the live event. I can't even begin to tell you how much you're going to learn on the online course. But I promise you this, you'll learn way more than what you know about holding companies with these two offers. For $97, text VIP to 678-276-8253. All right? I appreciate all of you for joining the show today. And if you have any questions, if you just need to speak to someone, call that number. But if you text VIP, we're going to call you back. And when we call you back, of course, we're going to thank you for reaching out to us because we appreciate you even being interested in working with us and allowing us to help you. But we will confirm that you text because you want to take us up on this offer. If you want to move forward with that offer, you can ask any questions. We have Millionaire concierges that always stay on the line. They stay available and they will answer any question that you might have about the workshop, about the course. They will answer any question that you may have about either or. And if you're not comfortable paying the $97 over the phone, because they can process your payment on the spot, you'll get instant access to this. They'll onboard you instantly. You'll get a welcome email. You'll get your RSVP ticket reservation confirmation. You can get all that within like a 5 to 10 minute window, all right? But if for some reason you're not comfortable processing the payment over the phone, we have a couple different options. We can send you a digital invoice through a DocuSign, or we can send you an invoice through QuickBooks for our company. Whatever works for you. You know, we have some people who are just not comfortable paying $97 over the phone because you don't know me, you don't trust me. That's cool. We can send you a digital invoice, or we can send you an invoice through QuickBooks, whatever works for you. But trust me, it's way better to pay $97 over the phone or through an invoice by texting VIP than it is to pay $994, because you can just go to my website, pay $497 to sign up for this event next week, and you can go to my website and pay $497 to get 1 year access to my course without even talking to anybody. But you're going to pay $994, or you could pay $97 and talk to us and get any question answered. All right. Carnell, said or unsaid, we all appreciate you or we wouldn't be here. So thank you and your team for being here for us, especially for me. Hey, man, we appreciate you. We're proud of you. Thank all of you for joining the show today. We'll be back here next Monday. I don't know. Again, you gotta get in where you fit in today. So reach out to us, text VIP to the number. We'll be more than happy to get you signed up, answer any questions, get you onboarded so you can start training today. And that gives you 8 days to be even more prepared for our holding company workshop. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have an amazing weekend. We'll be back here Monday, same place, same time, 12 o'clock noon Eastern on the Ramon